Yay, we
Hey,
back.
we back.
I'm a day late and a dollar short, but we back in the building.
Why you
Yeah,
got to like that?
it's a real review. I'm just being honest. All right, so I was out getting some tattoo work done, and as always, my tattoo artist is one of my closest friends. So we ran late. Stuff ran super late. Um, and I didn't get a chance to do like nerd podcast, but yeah, we're gonna pick it up today. Right now, I did not want to let the week go and we not get on here and talk about great television. And of course, we started on P Valley last week. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna continue because there was some things that, what I'm saying, Queen Euphoria knew that I didn't know. So now that I'm on the same page with her, I definitely want to get into it. All my predictions, throw them in the trash. None of that stuff it counts. None of it. I got all new episodes of Valley. Like, it's crazy how 1.5 episodes can change your life. You know what I mean? So we're in a whole different place. I'm super excited. Honestly, like I've been checking over and over again. Like, when is that? Is a new episode up? Is a new episode up? And the only reason why I didn't know that I still got a couple days left is because they just said I looked it up on Google and they was like, oh, all right, the next episode ain't until like a couple more days from now. So I'm kind of pissed about that. But hey, it's a good season. Only Murders in the Building, definitely one of my favorite shows. I started watching it while I was in a relationship. It was something to do while I was at that person's house and they slept early as hell, so I would get a chance to watch it by myself. It was a great show. I know this is not. I know this is a black people show because we all, black, and it's not really a lot of black people in that show. I don't think there's any black characters in that show. Matter of fact, now I think about it. No, I don't think there are any black people in that show. We're going to have to talk about that. Hey, Murders in the Building. You better not put a black person there to kill him. Let me tell you that right now. See, I gotta fix that.
Yeah, I
So
don't think
anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about Only Murders in the Building, and then today's 10 is 10 black comedies. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get into, I don't care the time period. It could be old, it could be new. I just wanted to get into 10 dope black comedies that you definitely have to watch if you like black comedies. So we about to get into that as well. So the first up,
so.
P Valley. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into P Valley, Queen Euphoria, how you doing? You
I'm
tell me
doing
what's
good. I'm doing good. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'm glad that you're able to catch up before the next episode comes through. So you'll be right on point when the next one comes, probably on Sunday. But yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good. Tell me what now that you've seen the latest episode, kind of do
okay.
a rewind on how you feel. What do you see was some of the takeaways from that episode?
Okay, great question. Okay, so let me tell you what I didn't know that I found out, you know what I mean, in the in the aftermath. So the first thing I found out was that Lil Murder's homeboy commits oh, I'm sorry, heavy spoilers. So if you hear not looking for spoilers, get out and go watch the episode and then come back. But if you if you want some info, let me tell y'all something. Heavy spoilers, blah blah blah. Lil Murder's best friend, the little crazy dude, offs himself, commits suicide. Um, Explains it. I'm like, wow, they take it there. Definitely was not ready for that. The number two thing that I flipped out about. The number two thing is maybe I guess I'm the only person that's stupid. I ain't know that him and old boy had a little thing. Like they was like, touching each other on the table and all that. Like I ain't know they was an item. So that kind of blew me away. I was like, wait, what? Like, wait a minute. Y'all had a little pass. Y'all dropped the soap in the shower together. Y'all was in the broom closet literally together. Like that was like, whoa.
You must have
Um,
missed another episode.
well, from what all right, so I was talking to another one of my friends, and they was like, bro, you ain't see season one. Him and the dude got locked up together and something happened. And I was like, I don't remember none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I can understand a lot of times, once again, I'm still dealing with my, I guess, issues with, looking at two naked men or men doing a whole bunch of stuff. They
Understood.
had anytime moments happen, I'd be kind of like, ah, you know what I'm saying? So
Right, right,
something,
right.
and I kind of just was like, ah, here we go. And I might have missed it. But to see those scenes play out, it took it to another level for me. It brought in a whole nother level of understanding. Because, like, yes, I paid attention to the whole second season, and I saw a lot of that. They'd be like looking at each other like, and like, so I was thinking, is old boy
Well, the
coming
side
out?
eye.
Yeah,
Right.
like the way they was kind of like, you know what I mean? And even the whole, like when I was in a hole and you wrote raps for me, and then they were on the tissue paper, and I was like, this is me not assuming nothing. I'm just like, yo, sometimes your homeboy in a dark place. Let me write him some rhymes, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I cocked the pump 3 times. I shot the dude in his chest, and yo, maybe these can get you over the hump. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so to see those moments play out, like redefine the whole second season for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm already knowing who Little Murder is and how he get down. That whole component of um their relationship, I was like, man, that made it so deep. And I was thinking, damn, is he going to not mess with Uncle Charlie no more? And he going to mess with old boy now? And then the suicide happens, and then I'm like, this is crazy. Oh, excuse me, Uncle Cliff, not Charlie. I'm sorry, I'm messing people's names up. Um, then also go back at the shorty do her little stripper thing that night. They counting up the bread. The dude come out. Here we go. Schlong comes into scene. Like, dude open up his little joint and he got penis everywhere. And I'm like, oh, here we go, nigga. But close your joint. You know what I mean? And then he ends up kind of trying to violate her, and then she get out of there, and then she get back to old boy that got the funeral car, and then he end up off in boy, which smart thing to do. That was probably one of the first times in a minute that I was going, thank you. Somebody does the most intelligent thing. He got information. He going Little Murder. This dude already done messed over Shorty. No matter, we don't know how much money he done took from her, or whether, because she gave him that big bag full of cash. He was probably about to run off with all the money. So at least homeboy stepped in. He cleared the situation. The way he did it, was not the smartest idea. How you just gonna kill somebody in the middle of a party and then just walk out like people ain't gonna know who you is? Like, you don't know. Half these girls are snitches. So, like, you know what I mean? This is not gonna. I feel like it's gonna come back to bite him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too many witnesses. It's too much. It was too much. You know what I mean? And he might get away with it. I don't know if that just is something, but I know that was a thing for them to play, to kind of have an attitude with him about what he did and how he did it. I was just kind of like, nah. Last thing, they found out light skinned shorty that owned the strip club was staying there. They get mad at her, like, are y'all really serious? Like, get out of here. Then she gets dressed up. She goes to the party. I thought that was a slick little scene. We get to see who the big boss is for this season. Obviously, the old white chick coming on a light flex. I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all ever dealt with an old country person, especially an old country white person, yeah, I like this. I like the way that whole scene shook up, because once again, I feel like people be underestimating light skin. Like, shorty she got class in her.
Right.
She just be dealing with y'all on a hood level because that's what y'all are. But she got some slickness in her. Now, her doing the whole thing with old boy, I feel like he ain't over his head. He charge. He think he know what's going on. He think he know how everything gonna play out. I feel like he's in over his head. Shorty know exactly what she doing. Upper dude, you know what I mean? She's sleeping with him. I feel like she gonna lap him 2, 3 times before the end of the season go, and he gonna be looking stupid, thinking, "Well, why you ain't do what I told you to do?" And all this other goofy stuff, and she gonna be like, "Nigga, keep up." You know what I mean? So
She's playing chess. She
yes,
already said, "What do I need to do to get what I need?"
to get
Before she did the whole little strip tease move on him or whatever. She straight up said, "What I need to do." So it's like she's over here with the lady because she know this lady is running everything and she can outbid all y'all. Or let's see what y'all talking about over here. So she playing chess. That's all she doing. And she already know this man married. She don't know his situation, even though the previous episode, show his wife was doing other stuff. She don't know about that. She just know what
right.
transpired from the beginning. They was basically done with each other. They wasn't gonna be fooling with each other. So right now it's on the kick of I need to get what I need to get from him because if he do get this whole mayor thing, I need to be in the right seat, in the right pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now, I kind of agree with you. I think he is over his head, and I think he feels though because his godfather was the mayor, and he's been handed down a lot of information from him that he feels though he could just pick up from where he left off. I don't think that's gonna work because he's still a puppet. They using him,
I don't. I
but
don't. I don't feel like he's overconfident. I feel like he's looking around his life and he's realizing, yo, this makes more sense than everything else. I think he hates sitting at home with the other chick. Obviously, in that argument before he walked out, he said a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he obviously doesn't feel like an equal to her. Obviously, he doesn't feel like her family respects him. And those are
mm,
real major issues. If you married to somebody, like those are issues that are like deep run. And then of course the cheating part takes it to a whole nother place. So him not even wanting to live in that house because he's like, yo, like you don't even respect me as the man in this house. So like, him going back, it's not necessarily that he feels like super confident. I feel like it's like this is literally my home. I own this at least. Hey, I own this house. Hey, the people in this place know me. There's a certain level of respect that I garner, even if it's based off of my uncle or my godfather. At least I have something here that's way better than what I had with my wife. So, and I think that's kind of like, because there are certain points where he's more aggressive about taking a stand and being like, yo, this is what we're gonna do. And he's kind of just been going along with stuff, kind of like, you know, eh. And
mm,
that's the thing I hate about him. I hate the fact that he's not assertive.
right.
And he could have been like Shorty Mom's running for office. Like, dude, how did you even let her get out there before you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because she's a serious contender. She didn't have to be, but you're so busy dragging your feet that you might even played yourself out of position.
Mhm.
And I really feel like Mom Dukes can win.
Mhm. Oh
She
yeah,
knows
she
how to
got a lot of followers just from doing that whole pantry thing.
right.
You done pulled in a whole lot of people just by feeding the community.
Correct. Yep.
So you
And
done
then
hit a whole different section that these other people are not even thinking about. They just thinking
exactly
about the wealthy side and what they can get from it. But she got a
right.
whole different connection going on. Yeah.
So this is how I see the rest of the season going. Um, I'm gonna see that. I see them. I see old boy that manages Little Murder picking up Shorty because he gonna
Mhm.
get a break back, and you know what I'm saying they gonna figure it out, which is great because he gonna step in and they gonna end up taking care of old white boy. That's dead. He gone. I mean, he better not. Let me tell you something. He better not make it the rest of the season because I'm gonna find this white boy in real life and get rid of him because he getting on my last nerve. You know what I'm saying? My last nerve. Like he put his hands on this woman one more time. It is driving me so nuts to even watch this. I can't. I hate watching it. Like I really do. So like I can see them getting the white dude straight. I see taking her back on the road. Lil Murder gonna need some time to get his head together because he is not in a good space right now. You know what I'm saying? Obviously he gonna get back with Uncle Cliff because
Well,
we don't
see,
know
they got a tour that was starting the very next day.
how you gonna do that. The manager dead. Can't do no.
Yep.
It's gonna take a little time.
He wasn't the manager.
No, yeah. He was the girl manager.
Who was? You talking about Rome?
He died. The guy that
Rome.
died.
Right. Rome was
Right.
the girl manager. But
Right.
still, even when they were on the hood, before he, committed suicide, he was talking about, he said, yo, we go on tour tomorrow. And he said, tomorrow's about you, tonight is about me. You know what I'm saying? So he's supposed to be going on tour. And dude had already told him that he didn't want him to roll with them because he felt like he was kind of off. He was like him. He was like, no, he supposed to be head of security. He was like, no, but he's causing more trouble than anything else right now. You know what I'm saying?
Which I
So
agree.
we're gonna see by the next episode if he does go on tour that next day, as it or is it or if it's gonna be postponed due to the fact of this happening. That's gonna be one thing I want to see. Then the other part, I'm concerned that she's gonna have a hard time leaving
I
because
can see this. I can see that.
who's gonna watch her children if she's touring?
Got to
That
go.
means that somehow or another you're gonna end up crawling back to the pink because the people at the pink was the ones watching your children before. You know what I'm
Um,
saying?
that could be the common sense choice, only because Cliff is going to be kind of like what's that? Taking care of Little Murder.
Mm,
So Little Murder, he gonna be with Little Murder. Obviously, the girl gonna come through. They gonna see the black eye. That's gonna be a problem. The other guy's gonna, pull up. They gonna find out that he off. Oh boy, and then now they gonna be trying to figure it out. That's why I said ain't no
mhm.
way they can go tour the next day. That's if they do, I commend them. But Murder's not gonna last on stage. He gonna be acting. He gonna be going nuts.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and they're gonna have to. She gonna have to find a way to make money.
Right.
She gonna have to
And
find a way to make money because the whole thing is, old boy ain't got no job. So if the tour is not gonna happen, nobody going nowhere. She gonna have to find a way to make some money. And the only way is what you gonna do. You're gonna have to go back, running back to Clifton and start apologizing. And the fact that Diamond is back at the paint, who's the light skinned guy, and he had this little encounter with this other chick, but he looking and thinking about uh Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like this is how everybody gonna get back and see each other all over again. I don't care if it's the last episode. I can see that eventually happening because it just seems like it got to be a way for all of them to get back together again. You know.
agree. Agree. I can definitely see that happen. All right. So look, everybody in the comment section, please drop a comment. Tell us what you feel like your predictions are. Who you feel like is going to come out on top at the end of the season? Like, who do you feel like is going to win the election? Who do you think is going to, how do you think the pink is going to turn out in ownership? You know what I mean? And then lastly, obviously, do you feel like Lil Murder and Mississippi can get through this other tour and really transition out of where they were? And like, honestly, I don't worry about Mississippi and making money component. I'm worried about Mississippi and being killed by this crazy white dude. Because it's not gonna do nothing. It's been progressively getting worse and worse, and it's not gonna get better. He's not gonna all of a sudden turn into some wonderful person. And now that you showed us the backstory, I'm even more scared. Like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, like you gave us more dimension and it made it so much more crazy. So that's that. So let's move on. So
Yeah.
one of the things I was thinking about in the last week was, man, we need to yeah, let's go hang out in Martin's living room for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like great black comedy movies, films, like I because I was thinking, man, I want to go on like a bender, a movie bender, but I just want to watch some dope black comedies. And I was watching I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels, and they were really ripping into one of my favorite Eddie Murphy films, which is Vampire in Brooklyn. I think Vampire in Brooklyn is a hilariously great movie.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, if you want to pick it apart with the accents and the different things here and there, it could fall apart story wise. Even the story's a little flaky. But who is tuning into an Eddie Murphy movie looking for some intricate story plot situation? Please, Beverly Hills Cop doesn't really hold up that well to scrutiny.
Right.
But going in for great laughs, great characters, great comedians. To me, that's going to be like at my number 10, which is definitely, I'm starting with A Vampire in Brooklyn. Definitely a great, funny, well rounded, obviously adult black comedy. You know what I mean? With a great ensemble cast of comedians of that time period. Euphoria. What would be, one of your picks for a great black film?
Well, I kind of went back that time period as well. I said Tales from the Crypt. Tales from
Mm.
the yeah.
Which
Tales
one?
with the hood. Yeah. Tales from the Hood. Which one
I'm
was
with you.
it? Tales from the Hood? Was it Tales
Yeah,
from
tell
the
some.
Hood?
Yeah.
Where it was like Tales from the Crypt, but the whole hood version. Yeah, that was the one I liked with the. Those, that's definitely an adult uh, movie, but it was real funny and weird at the same time.
For sure, for sure. All right, so I would go with my number 8 would definitely be, I'm gonna bring it forward to, I would say, Think Like a Man and Think Like a Man 2. I'm gonna smash them into one movie, and I want to do that. I highly enjoyed it. Kevin Hart, that was one of his breakout, hit films. I feel like that was the time when people started looking at him. I don't feel like that was his leading man role, but I definitely felt like that was one of the transition films that put him into like superstardom. And I enjoyed it. It definitely was controversial. And if you ever want to have fight with your girlfriend, watch that movie. You know what I mean? It's always going to kick up some dust that don't need to be kicked up for no reason. And I feel like that's the essence of a great comedy. So, what would you put at your number 7?
Well, I'm gonna go a little further back with Kevin Hart when he first came out with Soul Plane. That
Okay,
was the most
okay.
silliest, craziest movie. I just sit there and just laugh, just to be silly. But it was just a real silly movie with a fun-filled cast of different people, a whole lot of different people. But it was good. I liked
Got you. All right, I'm
it.
gonna go with my number 6, which I'm definitely gonna. Man, I'm trying not to have all of my movies be back in the day, but definitely another one of my favorite black comedies is Harlem Nights.
Savage.
It goes without saying. Harlem Nights is a classic. Once again, great ensemble cast. All comedy legends in the building. You know what I'm saying? Non-stop hilarity, great story, great acting. You know what I'm saying? Great timing, great set pieces. I mean, I don't care what time period you watch this film in. People are gonna laugh. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, what will be your number 5?
Life.
Life, life,
Life. Life.
life,
Best
life.
favorite movie. Yes. Yes. I would have made it number one, but yeah. But yeah, life is one of the top.
um, I'm gonna call this a comedy because it technically is, and I'm gonna roll all three of them up into one. The Bad Boys franchise.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah,
And some of
yeah.
the biggest laughs. all
Yep.
for the Bad Boy franchise. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Yo, they,
Yes.
not only is it great action, great acting, but great jokes. And like, nobody tops Will Smith and Martin Lawrence on screen together arguing.
Right.
Like, super classic, super classic. All right,
Right.
so what's your number three?
Well, since you busted me out, I may have to go ahead and put my yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Friday.
Okay, okay, I like that. I like that. Shout out to Friday. Shout out to Friday. And we'll put them all in
The
one. All
whole, all of them. We'll just
Yeah, man.
put them all in one.
Classic, super
Yeah.
classic, and as one of the great series of films that introduced so many great comedies to Caucasian audiences. You know what I mean? Because as Black people, we knew a lot of those comedians from Def Comedy Jam or underground DVDs or smaller roles in smaller Black films or television or whatever. But to see them on a big screen in that big of a way, I mean, come on, man. That was the introduction of
Yep.
good God, God, Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And shoot, we didn't
Right.
know us at the time. He was Miss Pimpin' or whatever the hell his name was at the time.
Even when it
So
was
like, yeah,
Chris Tucker, that was like the beginning of him. Besides being on Def Comedy Jam, so
right,
that was like his big movie. Yeah.
word. For number two, you know what? I don't know. If we should wait till number one. I don't know if this not. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw this out here, and you can tell me whether it should be number two or number one. I'm taking all of the Medeas and I'm smashing them together into one, and I'm gonna say Medea, even though it may not be my particular list, but I feel like if you talk about great Black comedies, to make that many movies and that many Black people love it, hey, I'll let them rock. I'll let them rock. You know what I mean? Now, if you feel like Medea should be number one, we can move it to that slot. Obviously not on this list of people. But look at you looking at me like, why did you bring him up? My bad, my bad, my bad.
I
I'm just
just
throwing him up.
that's not that's not gonna be in my top 10. I mean, I
It
kind
wouldn't
of
be in my
skipped through the
personal top
Medea,
10. No, 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 no.
but nah, I had Coming to America.
Ooh. Oh, you know what? Side note. Hold on. Let me stop these claps. Stop, stop. What did you think of Coming to America 2?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Pandemic. That was a pandemic rollout for your ass.
Right. It was something to watch. You're right. Exactly. And you're right. That was a pandemic movie. You're right.
It
It was like,
was it.
ah, ah.
Now, people, I've heard some people say if it had gone to theaters that we might have had a different feeling about it.
That could be.
The movie would have changed our feelings about it. I disagree 1000%. I just feel like the greatness, like, first of all, you mimicked the first film. So you
Hmm.
are regurgitating jokes instead of doing something new. I don't like that. Number two, I feel like some of the actors they chose weren't good. And then number three, you got some of the greatest comics on the planet. Every great Black comedian on the planet was on that set. And these are the corny jokes that you came up with.
Hmm.
You trying to tell me y'all couldn't have ran about all these comedians and they couldn't have came up with something better for this with
Hmm.
these slapstick,
Hmm.
over the top, certain things like. Now, mind you, I love seeing Wesley Snipes, kind of play the role he played, and there was some super cool stuff, but it was just like, this is over the top. And then,
But it was a Disney thing, wasn't it? Wasn't it
huh,
on Disney?
it
I
was on
thought it
Amazon.
was on Amazon Prime. Okay.
Amazon Prime gave them a boatload of cash, and I guess they gave it all to Ellie Murphy because it was like it was such a cheap film. Like, come on, man! Like, it just didn't have that. I don't know. And I really feel like it probably would have been better if they had found a better director. I don't know who this director guy was. I just don't feel like for the level of project that it was, we need Antoine Fuqua or something. You better give me somebody that know what they doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I'm
Right.
quite sure Eddie Murphy wanted to be able to have say so, and he wanted to be able to be in control of everything. And there you go, movie down the hill. You know what I mean? Like so. At the end of the day, like you said, I enjoyed it. I watched it only once. Now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm thinking maybe I should watch it again, but I wouldn't be excited to do so.
Mm-mm.
I'd rather watch the first one than go and watch the second one.
Right, exactly. And I agree with you there.
You know what I'm saying? So
100%. Yeah.
100%. All right, so all of you guys, if y'all want to watch some goodness, shoot, y'all go and watch that, and then holler back at us and give us your top 10 list in the comments, or tell us what joints we missed so that we can get it right. So now let's get into a little bit of you know what I'm saying? Murders in the building. You feel me?
I'm Lady Gomez.
I'm Steve Martin. I'm Martin Short.
And you're about to watch the trailer for Only Murders in the Building.
Is that what they
season
doing
2.
now? They telling you about the trailer before they show you the trailer?
You are all persons of interest in this case.
Someone's trying to frame this. This is gonna be fine. Could be bad. It's very rare for a true crime podcast to do a sequel. We have a real opportunity here.
You know what else feel like there's still a couple of loose ends?
Get a new hobby, as long as it doesn't land you in jail.
Like knitting?
All right, don't be a smart ass.
It's kind of her thing.
We are looking for new evidence.
You clearly know things that you're not sharing.
You understand the definition of perjury?
I know what perjury is. I don't.
Our lives blow up if we all go down for this.
Don't you want to clear your name too?
I have to see this through.
Let's focus. I'll be right back.
You can't leave me here. I'm that good at parties.
I'm nervous to talk to people because I can come off creepy.
Evidence keeps showing up in our apartments.
Who's ever doing this is toying with us.
This ends the investigation into a whole new direction.
We hope it will take us to clues
It's a wall.
and suspects.
So what do we know about my daughter's murder?
Maybe she killed Bunny.
Do you think that woman stabbed someone 8 times?
We'll put a pin in her for now.
Isn't this fun? As you can see, we're on fire.
Deep breaths.
We have 2 options. I slap you across the face, or we just skip to the part where you say, thanks, kid, that was tough to hear.
Not the slapping one.
You need to go full Ollie Mabel.
Only Mabel. Our names put in one.
Charles and Ollie Mabel.
The Charles is silent.
I love this show. Oh my god, real reviews is your boy.
Nope, we're not gonna.
Out of here. All right. So for whatever reason, the trailer was so good that my mic stand fell. That's how good it was, I guess. So all right. So we're gonna do just a kind of like a recap of season 1, and then I'll kind of get into a little bit of season 2. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but go ahead. So of what you have watched, what do you currently think of the show Only Murders in the Building?
Well, initially, just when I saw the trailer, first thing I said was, "Oh no, Martin Short and Steve Martin, the 3 amigos." That's the first thing that came to mind. So I'm thinking silly humor. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different type of humor that they have.
And you're right.
And that's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's watching this. It's like, watching the same type thing. If you're not that type of person that like that type of humor, you might be like, I don't know.
Word. It's very. I'm sorry. I'm shutting up. Go ahead. Finish.
No, you fine. But I just felt like I was kind of expecting, they're when they're together, they just have that kind of combination. where they feed off each other, you know. But most older, I mean younger people, they don't know who they are. So they probably know Selena Gomez before they know who the other two are. So it's just, I guess it's gravitating to each generation with this movie or this
I think
series.
that was the element I think I loved about it, is that I knew that this would be reintroducing two legends to a younger audience. I think
Right.
the whole premise was, hey, let's create something that connects the younger audience to these two veteran, thespians, if that's the term. I mean, I super love this film. I mean, I'm getting from your energy that you're not really that into it, but I super love this because I'm not into murder stuff. I'm not into like cop procedurals and all of that. But this was fun for me because it makes fun of the things that are annoying to me in the cop procedurals. So, like, every time they would try to get serious, you got these two fools just doing the dumbest stuff, and it cracks me
Mhm.
up because you got one that was like a cop detective in a TV show, and he think he knows stuff. And then, you got this guy who's the director and a producer, and he's, always trying to be in control of everything. And then you got the young girl who actually really has, basic investigative knowledge, and in a lot of situations has intimate knowledge of what is going on, whether
Right.
she realizes it or not. So, like, it just makes for a very unique show, to me, funny, suspenseful, and at the end of every episode they always left you with a great cliffhanger. You know what I mean? Every episode was just like, wait a minute, what? Wow, now I gotta watch the other one. And that's how I ended up like watching 3 and 4
Getting
episodes
hooked.
back. Because at the end of the episode, they leave you with some crazy detail, you know what I mean? And you're like, God, all right, let me see if I first watch the first 5 minutes, and then see, I'm all into the next episode. So, like, the thing that made me excited was those elements. It's not, they might use a curse word here and there, but it's not vulgar.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, but it's not full of it. It's not, egotistical, or, it's not highbrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're here. Solve a murder mystery, and only the best and the brightest will understand. Like, there wasn't any of that. You know what I mean? They are just some goofballs. Even the fact that all three of them met because they all like the same murder mystery podcast. I thought
Right.
I was like, it's so
That
modern
was
and
just so unique.
And one got a map and the other one's got the, you know what I mean? They sit here like, yo,
You know
what
what
is
to
up?
do? Yeah.
I was like, that was hilarious. So to give people a premise, all of the characters, the main characters live in this condominium complex in New York. That, let me give you guys an idea of this type of complex. You'd have to have at least $2 million to have a condo in this complex. The condos are huge, like ridiculously huge. Like, like the building is huge. It's super nice. Yeah, like it ain't normal. And they don't try to make it seem like these are normal everyday people. Like, they don't give off the sense that these people are wealthy, but they don't try to like play it up too bad. I mean, of course they'll be like, oh, the person that lives in the top floor is, I think, Sting or whoever. I forgot who the fuck. But there's somebody in the penthouse that's like a superstar, rock and roll star, and then he's hilarious. You know what I mean? So but you've got this condominium complex that ends up being within itself, because you find out so much about the building, its history. You find out that it's been around a long time because the characters have been there for a long time. I grew up in that building, and a murder takes place the whole building is evacuated. Nobody knows what happened, how the person got murdered. So then these three characters who bond over their love of podcast murder mysteries decides, hey, we've got a little clue. We have some clues that we realize, because they were in the elevator with the guy that died a few minutes before he died, and they together some really, really thinly. When I say thin, I'm saying you can see through it. Little fat build an entire podcast off of, but it's just like if you can put aside the playfulness of it, if you are a serious, murder mystery buff, it can work for you, but you have to allow these guys to be silly. That these guys are caricatures of what regular people are. I've never met two white guys as goofy as these two guys are.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
But if you just go along with, you gotta just allow, like, these two Steves have to do their shtick. So just let the shtick happen, enjoy it. Allow them to be super New Yorker. I don't understand how New Yorkers get to keep having movies and TV shows that are so New York centric. Like, this is so New York. A lot of the Jewish jokes and the city jokes, they're all New York jokes. And it's just like, if you're in Middle America and you've never been to New York, how the hell do you know anything about half the stuff that they're talking about? But it works in its own way. And like that, if you grew up with these two main characters, Steve Martin and I forgot the other nigga, then you know how the game goes. You know how to get
Martin Short.
And Martin Short, thank you. And then you enjoy it. And Selena Gomez, maybe because she plays the stereotypical white girl in privilege with the attitude and the ego and the sadness of a rich person, and I'm sitting here like, why are you depressed again? Like, what is the cause for all of your worldly dismay? Like, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're in your aunt house or whatever, just chill.
$1 million joint. You ain't got to worry about no rent.
You're not paying no rent. That's I'm like, you just
ain't no rent. You kicking it. You ain't got no job for real. So you got some money from somewhere. You ain't turning tricks or nothing. Like, so some kind of way you got money. And then you meet two old guys and then you immediately got an attitude because obviously these two dudes are not trying to hit on you. They are so goofy. Like, how can you be upset? These two older guys are just being nice to you. And you just, it's just like, get over yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. But once again, you're not even in a cheap restaurant. You walking in a high-end, there wasn't no cheap-looking restaurant when they all bumped into each other. And I'm like, okay, what do you really do? Because how you affording all this? I don't care if it's you just by yourself.
Right. I do remember them saying her saying that her aunt, because she wants to be an architect or interior decorator. So either whoever owns the place gave her money to
renovate the apartment. Right.
So like getting paid to do that. But it don't look like you doing nothing because that place looked like a hole in the wall season
it's
one.
Still right. That bathroom still jacked up.
So, give me, so far, what was your initial impressions? Well, I think you just gave me your initial impressions. But once you got in the first couple of episodes,
it's engaging. It is, and it has its high points, and the other characters make it funny too. Like when they were having the whole meeting in the building, the residents, they were funny. That was funny. So it's it does have its points that keep you watching it. I don't want to tell too much, but I just see how gradually you could be reeled in like how you were. Because I actually fell asleep on it from watching, like binge watching it, and then I just went down. So I had to find out where I passed out at, what episode I'm at. But yeah.
I 100% understand that. It'll definitely keep you going. What do you feel like could have been done better? You know what I mean? And I'm not even saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm saying, what do you feel like was missing, or what elements?
I don't know, because that's who those men are. You know what I'm saying? Like when you saying that it was New York, centralized. Um, that's just who they are. You know, and I'm thinking about other actors that are like that. When you look at Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, those usually they kind of have those kind of references because they're Jewish. Most of them are, you know. So that's natural. That's what come natural to them, you know. I kind of, well, I don't know. I understand why they're adding the whole Selena Gomez into it, but to me, it kind of off for me. It just was like, okay, how's this gonna fit? You know, and maybe as I watch it more, I'll understand. You know, I
Right.
saw how she was connected with the whole man in elevator type thing, but you know, it was just kind of. I would have saw her as a one episode type thing. I wouldn't expect her to be in every episode.
The whole thing. All right. So what I feel like the premise is, or what they are trying to do is, she's the straight character, while these two guys are all over the place.
All over the place.
Kind of anchors the screen to where she's the common sense person. She's the person that kind of sees things clearly. Whereas in normal, like it's almost like a societal switch, where it's normally the guys are kind of like, methodical and, all right, we're gonna follow the facts. These two guys are like,
Right.
this is what we're doing, this is where we're going. Like
Yeah.
she's the one that's kind of like, she's the grounded person, and that's what makes in one space, that's what I laugh at the most, is that she's so grounded and she's so focused on, like, all right, let's solve the murder, let's do this, let's do that, and they're all bouncing off the walls because of their own individual things that they're going through,
Right.
in addition to them reacting to the murder and all of these different changes that they're not used to. You know what I mean? Because these two guys have become slaves to their routines,
Right.
and subsequently have boxed themselves in.
Right.
This murder is, and even their happenstance meeting and being forced to be together is shattering, their comfort zones, and they're all trying to find their footing. And she's like, get over yourselves. You know what I mean? Like, she's always kind of reacting, and I'm like, what is going on? But I mean, the reality that they keep saying is, like, look, when you get older, you'll understand. Like, you're a kid, right now you're thinking, but I get it. Like, and it's a fish out of water story for everybody.
Right. Right.
And she's anchor, and they are just flailing in the wind. Like,
okay. Well, I'm glad you gave me that. Now I have to look at it in that light, because I definitely didn't see it that way. But that's good for these reviews. Different point of view.
Thank you.
Yeah. I like that.
It just, that type of stuff just makes me laugh. I like seeing that type of stuff. Once again, it's different storytelling. Don't give me the same thing all of the time. Like, yo, such and such shot such and such, and he a gangster, and his mom was on drugs, so now he had to man up and be the man of the house by becoming the biggest drug dealing kingpin on the East Coast. Like, give me something different. So, but I'm excited. I can't wait for you to finish the season, because it takes some turns. Like, it ain't whoever you thinking right now, that ain't it. I can tell you that right now. Okay. I don't even know where you at in the story, but I can.
Okay.
That ain't it. You know what I mean? And when you end the season, you're like, holy moly, how did we even get here? Like, you know what I mean? But not in a bad way, but you're just like, oh, yeah, you took me through a thing. And then and I'm further along because I'm in season 2, and I'm like, yo, like, it took a fun turn, and even in season 2, like, oh snap, because I will give you they do get they go to jail. You know what I'm saying? In season 2,
You do go to jail.
you know what I mean? But I mean, that's because they don't know how to mind their own damn. When that niggas kept saying it, like, yo, y'all need to be in the middle of this. Like, y'all need to stay away from this. But obviously, you know, and you publicizing everything because you keep everything y'all keep
on the
putting on the podcast, and then like it's taking off. I don't know if you're at the point where the podcast actually takes off and they're becoming like known. That becomes even more funny because that makes everything. It's like so many things that you would figure, but you don't think about in the context of the show. And as things are happening, you're going, yes, this doesn't make sense. How are you investigating a murder, but you're talking about it and you're putting out episodes? So now that is having its reverberation and everything is happening, and it just makes it funnier. And they effectively use all of that to keep you as the viewer not disoriented in a bad way, but they keep you from being able to grasp what's going on because there's so many new elements coming in, you know what I mean? But they do it in a really, really good way. It's done in a good way. I didn't come out of it at the end of the season 1 going, oh, that was just a whole bunch of nothing. But I was like, nah, man, y'all told a good story. Like, and it was fun. Like,
So it's a good storyline.
Yeah, most definitely. What would you do? You have another film or a TV show that you watch that you feel like is similar to this that you could recommend, or do you have another film or television show that you like, oh, this is a murder mystery and I could recommend this to the people?
No, I don't have a murder mystery that I can recall offhand. That's something I probably have to think about, but I can't think of a murder mystery offhand. No, we have to come back to that. Don't hit me with the pop-up questions, but we definitely I have to come back, circle around on that one. Okay. What about you? Do you have another one?
I do have a film, and it came out earlier this year that I really, really loved. It's called Death on the Nile.
Mm-hmm.
If you have HBO Max, I think it's either HBO Max or Stars. It's on one of those or both of them. I can't remember.
What is it about? That sounds familiar.
It pretty much is set back in the 1800s. This wealthy woman gets married to a guy, and she takes her bridal party on a cruise down the Nile. And while they're on the cruise, people in the bridal party start dropping. So then she knew that somebody was after her, so she hired a detective to kind of like not necessarily be her bodyguard, but to kind of like, she's like, look, I'm paying for you to be here and you can drink and do whatever you want. Just keep an eye on things. Like, just make sure that I don't need you standing up underneath of me, but can you keep an eye on everything? Right. So as people start dying, you know, he's kind of doing his Jacques Cousteau investigative, you know, top flight security type thing. And it's a really great movie because it's the same kind of thing. It's a murder mystery, but it's not funny. It's all serious, and it's all like who done it, and it's some serious who done it, but it's done in such a cool way. And I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I have to look that up because I remember seeing it popping up on. Must have been popping up on one of the home screens.
Right. Hold on. I think I have it right here. Yeah. Let's mute that. Let's put this here. And let me share that there and pull this up here. And I'm not going to play the audio to it, but I'm going to show you guys. Oh, and it's a Scott-free production. Okay, got you. Boom. So, yep. It's definitely one of those cool films. It dropped. Oh, it came out last year. You know what I'm saying? The latter part of last year. Went to see it. Had a great time with it. Or was it January? Something like that. I can't remember. But I definitely had a good time in the theater. It looks beautiful. The cinematography is phenomenal. Obviously, nothing but the best actors. You know, just great visuals, great script, great dialogue. Definitely, and it was definitely something that I enjoyed watching in the theater. It wasn't because I think now we have all been conditioned to be like the only thing I go to theater for is Marvel, you know what I'm saying, or DC. But like this is definitely something I'll represent because of the color and the depth of it.
Right.
Beautiful it is. It's like something to watch on a big screen. It was definitely too. And all those who have 70-inch screens, man, you guys are really gonna enjoy the vibrantness of it, the color. So yeah, definitely will recommend that.
The scenery too. It has a lot of scenic.
Oh yeah, mostly, definitely, and they
Wow.
painted the hell out of those white people faces, so they look clean as hell. So
I had
so
to check that one out. I had to check that one out. Definitely now.
so I want to get creative. All right, so next week I want to do. I want to kind of stay on this murder mystery, but I want to do something that was hugely popular in the 80s and 90s, and I want to do a special episode called Sex and Murder. In the 80s and 90s, do not ask us why. There were tons of films that were created that had a whole lot of nudity, sex, BDSM stuff, and murder mixed together. So I'm gonna put a list of films together, and then we will be able to talk about it. I can tell you, Madonna was in one. It's called Body of Evidence. I'm not. Have you ever heard of that movie?
Mm-mm.
And then what was the other one where the girl let's see, what is it? Where the woman, it's a murder mystery. The woman was having sex with some older guy, and then the guy died during sex, and they tried to say that she killed him, and like I forgot the name of it. And then she was in the interrogation room with the other one, which is I forgot the name. Um, I would also like to throw in Thin Line Between Love and Hate. I definitely feel like that was it did turn out to be murder at the end, but it was definitely like sex and psychos. Actually, that sounds way better. Sex and Psychos,
Sex and
TV
Psycho.
series. It was just like the 80s and 90s were full of them, where it was just like movies where you had these white men trying to do right, and then women trying to like kill him or
What was the
do
other
something cool.
one? Oh man, Fatal
She's in
Attraction.
the interrogation room and she uncrossed her legs and you can see her vag, and then she crossed her legs again. You don't remember that? That was all over everything.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, shut up.
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction. That's it. Yep,
That was
Fatal
crazy.
Attraction.
That was crazy.
And then you got remember Double Jeopardy?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Double Jeopardy was that joint.
That's
So here,
good.
1987's Fatal Attraction, man. Like crazy. These are crazy movies that came out, and people used to flood the theaters, and then they could only show them on TV late at night on HBO and
Yeah.
Cinemax. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they invented the genre just for these type of films. Like
Yeah.
super crazy, super crazy. So, yeah, we're gonna talk more about it next week. Y'all tune in. You know what I'm saying? Sex and Psychos. Oh man, like let me see. I want to see how many, because I don't think Kim is really. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you was into those films. Like, there's a lot of
What was the
those.
other movie where the man was gonna pay somebody off, pay the wife off to have sex with him, and he was a millionaire?
You are talking about that's when I fell in love. I think that's when everybody started super falling in love with Sade, because that one song. Oh God, what's it called? Man, but honestly, I don't feel like, you know what, we can debate that next week. I'm
Because
sorry.
that was a Sex and Psycho. I'm just thinking Sex and
Yeah,
Psycho,
no,
not
I
necessarily
coming from.
murder. But
Coming from. I like that. I like that.
yeah.
And then I got another joint, kind of dark, where it was like the white dude is yo, you ever seen a joint called The Secretary?
I remember that. That sounds familiar. That
Let me
Oh,
see.
yeah, pull that trailer up. Let me see.
Yeah. It's yeah, like all of this stuff that people was all getting all up in they little getting their little panties in a bundle over when they was watching the 50 Shades of Grey. Did this have a trailer? Or this was
You said it was already happening, huh? Back in the
yeah,
day.
like them boys done been to this stuff, man. Them white boys ain't playing with y'all, man. Let me tell you, I don't know if this would last on the list, but hey, Sex and Psychos episode coming next week, man. Make sure y'all. We done stumbled into something good here. Like, we get to start thinking. I'm like, man, hey, and you know what the craziest thing is? I've seen like all of them joints. Like,
Right.
it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just into certain types of films. As long as it ain't, don't give me gore, but I can take some slight murder or whatever. But Double Jeopardy is that joint too. Like Double Jeopardy, I'm definitely gonna put you onto that. And then there's some other black ones too. There is actually one with my man Wesley Snipes. I think he did one where he's like a psycho and there's a lot of sex in it, and it has. So is it? I'm gonna have to look it up. But anyway, jump in the comments, drop who the ones you want. Kim, prepare, send me a list like so other Sex and Psychos, the ones we talking about. Did you have a particular film that you wanted to try to watch and then we do a review of it?
Well, like I said, look at the For the Love of Money. That's with Cat Williams and Carrie Hilson and DC Young Fly, a whole bunch of other folks up in there, but
okay,
checking them out recently.
That falls into the Sex and Psychos category.
I want to get your input on that.
All right. So For the Love of Money and we gonna come up with some stuff, man. Y'all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying the Sex and Psychos.
Yeah,
next week.
I'm gonna come up with a good one for you to watch, so you can come back and be like, "Why the hell you got me watching this?" You know what I'm saying? So y'all tap in next week. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We check y'all out later. Peace.
Peace.
Oh Lord.